The New York State Athletic Commission has officially decided to maintain the result of the Gervonta Davis vs. Lamont Roach fight as a 12-round draw, refusing to overturn the outcome of their highly anticipated bout on March 1 at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn. This decision has sparked major debate among boxing fans and analysts, especially considering the controversial moments that unfolded during the fight. Many expected that Roach, who put up an impressive performance, might be declared the winner after Davis took a knee in the 9th round, just a second after being hit. However, despite this moment of vulnerability, Davis quickly got up and walked to his corner without the referee officially calling for a timeout. His trainer proceeded to wipe what was reportedly hair grease out of his eyes, a situation that has left many questioning the referee's handling of the fight. The official scores for the match were 115-113 in favor of Davis, while the other two judges scored it 114-114, resulting in a majority draw. This ruling has led to speculation about why the commission chose not to intervene and change the result. Some fans and analysts argue that regardless of whether Davis had hair grease in his eyes, the fact that he voluntarily took a knee should have resulted in a point deduction. Additionally, when he turned his back on the fight and walked to his corner without permission, many believe he should have been disqualified. The decision to leave the fight as a draw has only fueled suspicions that Davis, being a major star in the boxing world, might have received special treatment. This is not the first time a high-profile fighter has been accused of being favored by officials, and it has led many to question the fairness of boxing regulations. If the commission had decided to overturn the draw and officially hand Davis a loss, some speculate that he might refuse to fight in New York again, potentially avoiding the jurisdiction altogether in future bouts. Despite the controversy, there is now growing pressure on Davis to grant Roach a rematch, as many believe Roach deserves another chance to prove himself. However, it remains uncertain whether Davis will agree to it or if he will instead pursue bigger, more lucrative fights against names like Vasily Lomachenko, Ryan Garcia, or even social media star turned boxer Jake Paul. Given Davis' status as one of the biggest names in boxing, his decision will likely be influenced by financial incentives and career strategy. If he believes a rematch with Roach does not bring in the kind of attention or money he desires, he may opt to move on to a different opponent. On the other hand, if the controversy continues to grow, he might feel pressured to settle the debate once and for all in the ring. Roach's performance in the fight has also been a major talking point. Although he started off slow in the early rounds, throwing fewer punches than expected, he gained significant momentum as the fight progressed. By the later rounds, he was outworking Davis, landing sharp counterpunches and visibly frustrating his opponent. In response, Davis resorted to roughhouse tactics, trying to regain control of the fight, but Roach remained composed and continued applying pressure. Many who watched the fight closely believe Roach did enough to secure a victory, making the draw even more controversial. Regardless of whether a rematch happens, this fight has cemented Roach as a serious contender in the division, and his performance has earned him new respect in the boxing community. As the debate over the fight's result continues, one thing is clear: the controversy surrounding this bout will not be forgotten anytime soon, and the boxing world will be watching closely to see what happens next. The controversy surrounding the Davis vs. Roach fight is not just about the result, but also about the integrity of boxing officiating. Many fans argue that boxing commissions should be more consistent and strict in enforcing the rules, regardless of a fighter's star power. The fact that Davis was allowed to take a knee and walk to his corner without any immediate consequences has raised concerns about whether certain fighters receive preferential treatment. Critics argue that if a lesser-known boxer had done the same, they might have been penalized or even disqualified on the spot. This has led to renewed calls for better regulation and oversight in professional boxing, ensuring that every fighter is treated fairly, regardless of their status or financial influence on the sport. Adding to the drama is the reaction from boxing fans on social media, many of whom believe Roach was robbed of a victory. Discussions on platforms like Twitter and Reddit have been filled with outrage, with fans dissecting every moment of the fight to argue their case. Some believe that Roach's strong second-half performance should have secured him the win, while others focus on the 9th round incident as a clear reason to penalize Davis. The decision by the New York State Athletic Commission to leave the result unchanged has only intensified these debates, with many questioning whether boxing politics played a role in the outcome. Some have even drawn comparisons to past controversial decisions in boxing history, reigniting concerns about corruption or bias within the sport. For Davis, the situation puts him in a tricky position. While he remains undefeated on paper, the controversy surrounding this fight has slightly tarnished his image. He is known for his knockout power and dominant performances, but this draw has left some fans questioning his ability to handle adversity in the ring. If he refuses to grant Roach a rematch, critics may argue that he is avoiding a fighter who exposed his weaknesses. On the other hand, if he does agree to a second fight and wins convincingly, he could silence his doubters and reassert his dominance. However, with bigger names like Lomachenko and Garcia potentially on the table, Davis must decide whether proving himself against Roach is worth the risk or if he should move on to a more lucrative challenge. Roach, meanwhile, has seen his stock rise despite not officially winning the fight. Before this match, he was not widely regarded as a serious threat to a fighter of Davis' caliber, but his performance has changed that perception. He demonstrated skill, patience, and resilience, pushing Davis in a way that few others have. Even though the fight ended in a draw, many now see him as a top contender in the lightweight division, and he could have more high-profile opportunities ahead. Whether or not Davis agrees to a rematch, Roach has proven that he belongs among the best, and his career is likely to benefit from the attention this fight has generated. As the dust settles, all eyes will be on Davis' next move. If he chooses to face Roach again, the rematch could be one of the most highly anticipated fights in the division. If he moves on to fight a bigger name, Roach will have to find another way to capitalize on his newfound recognition. Either way, this fight has sparked discussions that go beyond just these two fighters. It has brought attention to the broader issues of fair officiating, boxing politics, and how much influence star power has in the sport. No matter what happens next, one thing is certain: the controversy surrounding this fight has added another dramatic chapter to the world of boxing, and fans will be eagerly waiting to see how it all unfolds.